Hi ladies, if you don't know me yet, I am Sarah. I'm a clinical nutritionist with a private practice who contracts here at CrownFit. You probably know me from the monthly nutrition seminars I do with CrownFit, the group coaching programs, or you may be a one-on-one client. But Shannon just had a request that I come on here and briefly explain how to kind of calculate your macro and intake goals based on your InBody scan. So if you need additional support, you need a lot of help with this, or you want to kind of dig deeper, I'm always available to take on more one-on-one clients. So feel free to reach out, but I hope this video is helpful. I'm going to give you what I know about calculating your macros that you can kind of apply to yourself. So here is an example of an InBody scan. This is the report that you can download. What you're going to do in this top right corner, and I've circled it, is your basal metabolic rate. So in this report, it's already converted to calories, but just on the app, if you're just looking at the BMR bar, it might be in kilojoules. So if it says KJ, you're just going to go to Google, convert that kilojoule number to kilocalories or kcal. But on this report, it's already in kcal. So that's the most important step. And then it's understanding, what is your BMR? That's not the amount of calories that you're trying to eat per day. That's the estimated amount of calories that it takes for your organs to function optimally if you were to lay on the couch and barely breathe all day. So that's not the number we're aiming for. Then we're going to take that number and we're going to plug it into the Harris-Benedict equation based on your activity level. So if you're a CrownFit member, I'm assuming that most of you are going to fit into that active category, which would be if you do about 7,000 to 10,000 steps a day and you work out about 3 to 5 times per week, then you'd fit into that active category. So then you're going to take that BMR number in calories and you're going to times it by 1.55. And that's your estimated maintenance intake goals. So then from there, you go, what is your goal? Is your goal to build muscle? Right now, based on your InBody scan, you can kind of see what's the breakdown, how much muscle mass do you have, how much fat mass do you have. If you have adequate muscle mass, but your goal right now is to lose fat mass, then you're going to do a subtraction from there. So subtract about 300 calories from there. Don't really like doing more than a 300 calorie deficit. And you're going to do that for about 8 to 12 weeks and then go up to maintenance and back down. You don't want to just stay in a deficit long term. So that would be your goal. You get that maintenance number, subtract about 300 calories if your goal is fat loss. If your goal is muscle gain, then you're going to add 300 calories to that number. This is why a lot of people end up getting stuck in that they're trying to make these body composition changes, but they're trying to do both at once. They're trying to gain muscle and lose fat, but they're completely different equations. One is anabolic, where you're adding or gaining, you're supporting muscle mass, muscle protein synthesis. You actually need excess for that. And then the other one is loss or catabolism, the breakdown, and that's a deficit. So it's much more effective to do it in sequential blocks of time. I find it if you don't have a high normal to high amount of muscle mass, I find it more effective to first work on building muscle mass from your workout. So that would be that 300 added to that maintenance calorie number before you then do a dedicated deficit to lose fat, because that's actually going to increase your basal metabolic rate. It's going to make a deficit a little bit more effective for you. And it's not effective to just constantly be in a deficit all the time. We kind of want to use these things strategically in a way that actually helps you so you can see the results from your workouts. So I hope this was helpful. I'll add a little bit of a description as well as the full Harris-Benedict equation so you can kind of take your activity level and do the math yourself. And then from there, you want to kind of do the breakdown for what you're aiming for your macros. So that was the intake goal as far as your calories are concerned. And then your macros, you want to figure out what's your estimated goal for your protein, for your fat, and for your carbs. And I add fiber because I think fiber is just as important. So that's a whole conversation that I've done seminars on, that I walk clients through, that we're doing in group coaching right now. But the first most important one is to try to hit that protein number. And that's regardless of whether your goal is fat loss, keeping yourself right where you're at right now, or if that's gain. And so I lean for a very liberal amount of protein, and that would be about 1 gram per pound of ideal body weight. So do those calculations. Do a 3-day food diary and kind of see where you're at. I like an app called Chronometer because the free version gives you all the information you need to get your averages. and then compare what's your average intake to what's the calories and macros that you just estimated, and then you have a good game plan moving forward. So I hope this helped.